Hello everyone, this is Suzanne at God Crochet and Chatter. Welcome back. And I want to welcome all my new subscribers. I saw that we had 2 or 3. I'm so glad you found your way to our group. You're most welcome here. We love the Lord and we love digging deeply into His Word. Right now we are in a study of Revelation. I do this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the rest of the week, I try to come on every day and do another verse devotional. So we are doing a verse-by-verse study in Revelation. You can jump right in. Today we're going to look at Jesus' letter to the church at Thyatira. Now, we've already looked at the church at Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, and now we're on the church of Thyatira. These are the 7 letters that were written to the various churches. And Jesus always starts out with a praise report or what they're doing right and uplifts them for that. But then he also points out where they are going astray. So today we're going to look at Revelation chapter 2, verses 18 and 19. And let me read that to you. And to the angel of the church in Thyatira write, These things says the Son of God, who has eyes like flame of fire and his feet like brass. I know your works, love, service, faith, and your patience. And as for your works, the last are more than the first. So we're going to discuss those 2 verses today. Thyatira. This was the smallest and least important of the 7 cities Jesus addresses in Revelation 2 and 3. In history, we have no record that the Christians of Thyatira suffered any significant political or religious persecution. The elder Pliny dismissed Thyatira with the almost contemptuous phrase, Thyatira and other important cities. So it wasn't looked upon as a very important city. But what was going on there was huge, absolutely huge. Thyatira. Still, this city was a center of business and trade. It had many active trade guilds, each having their own patron deity from the Greek and Roman pantheon of gods. Acts 16:14-15 mentions Lydia of Thyatira. Do you remember what she was noted for? She was a seller of purple cloth from the city of Thyatira. Thyatira was famous for the manufacture of a purple dye, and numerous references are found in secular literature of the period to these trade guilds which manufactured cloth. From the inscriptions which have been found in the neighborhood, it is clear that Thyatira possessed more trade guilds than any other town of its size in Asia. That's really amazing for such a small town. Jesus describes himself to the church at Thyatira. Doesn't Jesus describe himself to us? These things says the Son of God, who has eyes like a flame, fire, and his feet like brass. These things says the Son of God. Jesus first described himself with a title that emphasized his deity, the Son of God. In Jewish thought, to be the son of a thing meant you had the nature of that thing. The sons of the sorceress, Isaiah 57:3, had the nature of the sorceress. The sons of thunder, Mark 13:17, had a nature like thunder. So the Son of God has a divine nature, the nature of God. Makes sense? Who has eyes like flame of fire. Jesus chose this description of himself from the presentation in Revelation 1:14 to emphasize the idea that his eyes look with penetrating judgment. I imagine if we stand before Jesus today and he looked at us, we would fall to the ground because his piercing eyes would reach right into our soul. He knows everything about us, everything we've ever done, and he's amazing. Have you ever had somebody stare at you and it's like they can just see right inside of you? It's kind of an eerie feeling, isn't it? They just have these deep, penetrating eyes. His feet like brass. Jesus chose this description of himself from Revelation 1:15 to emphasize his purity, because brass is pure and highly refined in the fire. It also emphasized his steadfastness, because brass was the strongest known metal in the ancient world, and feet like fine brass would be strong and unmovable. That's why it's important here to understand this, that feet like fine brass would be strong and unmovable. Brass may no longer be the strongest metal in the world today, but we get the meaning. And today, I don't know what the heaviest metal is, but maybe it's steel. I don't know. But would be strong and unmovable. Think about that. His feet would be strong and unmovable. He would not back down. He was the Son of God. He came to earth with a purpose to seek and save us. And he wasn't going to be unmoved from that, no matter what they did to him. What Jesus knows about the Christians in Thyatira. I know your works, love, service, faith, and your patience. And for your works, the last are more than the first. I know your works. Thyatira was the least significant city among 7 cities Jesus addressed. Yet they were not hidden to Jesus. Like each one of the churches, Jesus said to the church of Thyatira, I know your works. Jesus knows the works of every church. Jesus knows of our works. Nothing is hidden from him. But he's going to tell them, I know your works. Does he know your works? B, love, service, faith, and your patience. Now those sound like great attributes to have. I would want to be noted for my love, my service, my faith, and my patience. In many ways, the church at Thyatira was a model church. They had 4 great essential qualities. They had love, both for the Lord and for one another. They knew service and had faith and patience worth mentioning. As for your works, the last are more than the first. This was another compliment to the church at Thyatira. Not only did they have these works, but they had them in increasing measure. They were growing in love, service, faith, and patience. That should be the goal of most churches today. All of them, in fact, should be that we're growing in love, service, and patience in increasing measure. Sadly to say, that's not always the case. Some of these churches that you walk into today, you wouldn't even recognize as being Christian. Like, are you kidding me? This is so far from God's truth. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. And that people are following it. It's like, no brain. It's like, people aren't thinking anymore. They're just following like little lemmings. And that's a sad thing. Okay, now, next in our study, we will be studying verses 20 through 21. We're going to look at what Jesus had against the church at Thyatira. And it was huge. And we're going to be talking about Jezebel and Ahab. And it's quite frightening and disturbing how evil her life was. So, on Wednesday, it will be what Jesus taught against the church at Thyatira. So, let us continuing doing good things that the Lord can continually praise us for and not find any wrongdoing in us. Isn't that the hope of every Christian? That Jesus finds no wrongdoing in us? That at the end of time we will hear, well done, my faithful servant, servant enter into your reward. Woohoo! I'm all for that. I know you are too. All right, everyone, that's it for our study of Revelation today. We are going through this book verse by verse. Sometimes it's 2, maybe 3 verses, depending on the length of the commentary here. Again, I want to point out that this book we're studying from is Revelation verse by verse commentary by David Guzik. I have found these commentaries to be totally awesome, and they have sold millions of copies, his commentaries over the years, and he really has done his homework, and it shows. I think this is a great way to study scriptures. We really dig into it and get some background and get a fuller understanding of what's going on and what it means. That's so important in Bible study. All right, I think that's all I have for you today. Ron and I went to our pain clinic today, and they informed me that I have to get my pain meds, all pain meds from them. My surgeon was prescribing my pain meds, and they have taken that over. When you sign up at a pain clinic, as many of you well know, you honor the contract stating that you will not go outside any other doctors to get pain meds. And if you do, that's cause for great dismissal. And but they're really good at my pain clinic, and they're very concerned about my pain issues and bringing them more under control. Now, Ron also had an appointment today. We had back-to-back appointments, and they're going to put him on a muscle relaxant, and they gave him a script for physical therapy, which I am thrilled. I think he needs this very much. So we got to figure out what days he's going to go and get that started probably within the next couple of weeks. I think I've got maybe 8 to 10 days to re-evaluate it myself. So I kind of want to wait till I'm at the end of mine, and then he can just take the car and go. It'll be less complicated that way. At least I hope so. But yeah, I'm not quite back into my knitting machine. I'm just waiting till I feel strong enough and I can make, I got to find out where everything is again because of the straightening up of this room that my daughter did for me. So it's here, but I don't know. I had everything, how you have everything here and here, and sometimes people help you and things get in a disarray for a little bit, but it's all good. They worked very hard, and I'm very thankful for that. I've got a few more things to do today, and I'm going to ice my knee now and take a pain med, and then I'll be able to get up and make our dinner. I hope you all have a blessed day in the Lord. I hope you're studying God's Word every day. I hope that you are receiving great blessings from the Lord. If you're hurting, if you need prayer, if you're in pain, please let us know. We want to pray for you. All right, if you could press that like button for me and perhaps leave a comment what you're thinking about this study in Revelation. If you have any comments to add, I would like to see that. All right, you take care, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Take care for now. Bye-bye.